Reconvene the regular meeting, and the first is a motion to adopt the agenda for August 20th. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I so move, Your Worship.
And the seconder, Councillor Rishagan.
Yeah.
With his hands up. All those in favor? And I have three sets of minutes. Special meeting minutes of July 23rd, a motion to adopt.
So move, Your Worship.
Councillor Doherty, Councillor Krog, all those in favor. Regular meeting of July 23rd, motion to adopt. Councillor Smith, Councillor Wires, all those in favor. And the primary committee meetings and the recommendations contained herein. Motion to adopt. Councillor Kendall, Councillor O'Doherty, all those in favor. Okay. And the first item of business is the Vicon Design requesting support by way of advertising in their publication, and council may choose to deal with this in whatever way they wish. Do we have a motion on the matter? Councillor Wires.
I'm prepared to make a motion for option 3 to purchase the smaller ad in the publication promoting the Trans-Canada Trail through the city and the Scenic City Park area.
And was that a half-page option?
Yes, that was the half-page option of I think it's $1,350.
And a second for that?
I would second
Councillor O'Doherty had his finger out there. Councillor Rishagan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have absolutely no problem supporting this. I just have a couple questions, or a question. There's been other individuals or groups who have come forward looking for us to take out ads. What is our history so far taking out those ads? There's been Sandra's publication there, Visitor's Choice. Do we take out an ad in that?
Visitor's Choice, and I would assume this is our second option, although we could probably do both since they address a different audience.
Yes.
Okay, but we haven't turned down Sandra.
No,
okay,
no, we
so we haven't turned anybody down. Okay,
No.
Okay, then I have no problem supporting this.
Okay, and we have a seconder to that motion for the half-page ad. Further discussion. Councillor Smith.
I'm just wondering, did we give the okay for Visitor's Choice?
For last year.
Oh, for last year. Oh, okay.
I believe that she made the presentation and
It was for this year's
Yeah,
publication.
that's
But they get it. They have to do it the year before.
Yeah. I'm sure we approved it for
I
this.
thought it was for this year, and that's why we did it when we did, because there was a deadline for her to get it in.
March or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's for this year's that we
Yeah,
approved the...
she's advertising that.
Just a moment here.
Okay, I thought it was next year.
Can you
The
help us
Visitor's
with
Choice
this?
publication we've done for 2 years in a row now.
Right.
2011, 2012.
Okay,
And I
so we
believe
did
we
approve
even
this
did it
year.
in 2010. But I believe that she made the presentation in early February, and because the magazine was going to print in March.
Right, so
Right.
it was for this year's
Yes.
publication.
And this will end up next year as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a question. The smaller sized ad, that's just somewhere in the magazine. That isn't the back cover, is it?
No, as far as I understand, what you're looking at is not the back cover. They're not going to split the back cover. Councillor Smith?
What was the cost for the ad that we put in Visitor's Choice?
I think we paid $2,300, if I'm correct. I'm getting a nod over there. Around that figure. The offer to us was the back page, but it appears that the branding process will probably not produce something that we could utilize on the back page by November 15th. And although I think we could push that a little, speaking to Councillor Smith, in terms of the deadlines, the RFP closes on the 31st, and that gives 2.5 months for them to do the process that would produce something, and it doesn't close till December 31st. Councillor Smith and then Councillor
Yeah,
Kendall.
The request for proposal closes at the end of this month. We expect to have someone contracted to do the work by the middle of September, and that the deliverables are
Right.
available at the end of the year.
Right.
And my understanding is that in trying to get their layout together, that's the November deadline. If, in fact, the branding materials were available, that they could be inserted, having had that format already set up. You know, change a photo, change a name, or something like that. You can do that closer. You know, the deadline is a little closer to printing time for those little changes, but the format, the actual selling of the ads, has to be completed in order to
Right.
fill up your book and find out how many pages you've got.
Yeah.
As far as inserting a brand or a tagline, I think that can be pushed a little closer to the production date.
Okay, that's my understanding. Ready for the question? Further comment? Councillor Vershagin?
Just for clarification, this is for the $1,300, $1,350 ad?
Yeah. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. And questions and clarifications, reports from council. Starting Councillor Smith this evening.
Sure. Thank you, Your Worship. On the 8th, I attended the weed tour. Well, actually, the luncheon that was held in City Park. That was hosted by Barb Stewart, and that featured a number of folks from the United States who are also dealing with their invasive weed issues there. And as Your Worship addressed the assembled crowd there, indicated that Grand Forks City does not currently do anything about the weed program. And I think it's probably a good idea that we start thinking about it. Certainly, it is a topic I'll be addressing with the Environment Committee when we meet. The big onus for taking care of invasive weed species has been on Area D for our local region, and I think it's an opportunity that we step up to the plate to do our part in order to keep those species down.
Yeah, I'd like to agree with Councillor Smith on this, and I've asked Councillor Smith if he would be the liaison to the Weed Committee. Given the fact that we're really looking critically at a fair cost at a regional level, that we can't have these little tag things hanging out, and we produce weeds here in our lots and various boulevards and things, and we should be participating in a more active way with the Weed Committee.
Yeah. And if Your Worship, if I may, I just assume rather than just like it be another liaison for another group, is just tie it in with the Environment Committee, because it really...
Certainly you can handle it that way.
Exactly, yeah. On the 7th, we had Economic Development Advisory Committee. The minutes I just passed over to our corporate officer, so they will be available in the next week's information. We're having a gal, Barb Haynes, who's the executive director for the Penticton Downtown Association, attending Grand Forks tomorrow night at the Seniors Hall from 6 to 8 p.m. We certainly encourage members of council and public to come. Barb Haynes has done or been the spearhead to a lot of the improvements that have happened in Penticton. It's amazing. I was there to attend and saw the murals and saw the market, and after having lunch with her and talking with her to some length, I felt that some of her ideas could certainly benefit our community if we could apply them in our own way. So we're, again, I'm hoping that we'll see some faces out there tomorrow night. Again, that's at the Seniors Hall in City Park from 6 to 8. There is no fee, and refreshments will be there. Another thing the EDAC was talking about is local currencies. So we've got someone that's going to look into that. There's a couple of, like Nelson, I believe, and there's a Roslyn, or a couple other communities locally that have local currency, so that it encourages money being spent in the community. by trading goods or having that, Grand Forks dollars or whatever. So that's one avenue that we're kind of just investigating. The fly-ins happening, or the airport appreciation date is coming in on the 26th. So the local pilots association, certainly encouraged by the EDAC. We're going to have that happening on the 26th from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. There's Elks Pancake Breakfast at 7 a.m. There'll be airplanes, there'll be classic cars, there'll be motorcycles, there'll be radio-controlled aircraft demonstrations. There'll be vendors up there. It should be a really good time. One thing I'd like to tie it into is to open up to the pilots and for the community to see the pilots, is to close on Sunday from 10 to 2, is to have a Market Avenue closed to all but pedestrian traffic. And I've spoken to members of the farmers market, to business owners along Market Avenue, who are both willing to set up for that 4-hour space. Braun & Sons has graciously been willing to donate a dozen very large shade trees so we can have instant shade along the center of the street. John Zibin from The Source, he's going to set up a sound system. Bernice, she's arranging some live entertainment. And it's an opportunity for the community to kind of set up, I call it guerrilla urban planning, because boom, we're in there, boom, we get out sort of thing. And it's an opportunity for the community to kind of see something different for our downtown. It's an opportunity for those pilots that are coming in to see Grand Forks in a different light, and an opportunity for Grand Forks residents to get up to the airport, because we're setting up a shuttle to run over that 4-hour period. Not asking for council for anything other than to support it in principle, that we shut down Market Avenue for that 4-hour, well, it'll actually be about 6 hours, one hour on each side. So I'm just looking for your support.
Do you want to make that a motion?
Sure.
And a
Make a
second?
motion that council will support closing down Market Avenue on the 26th for 6 hours.
Councillor Doherty? Yeah, I understand that there'll be cones and things needed and a few things like that, that we won't be asking them to move the trees, that you've got volunteer labor.
That's correct. What we're looking, hopefully from city staff, is for some sandbags to secure the trees, and also for barricades for the streets.
Okay. Comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Let's see. Your Worship received a letter from a concerned property owner, I guess, about the status of our economy and where Grand Forks was going. So it was actually sent out also to Community Futures, and we responded. The EDAC responded that we're well on our way to making some positive changes in our community, and we wanted to communicate about that on behalf of our committee. One of our new, for our next meeting, one of our new members, Sandra Marks, who was here earlier, she's going to be giving an address on cooperatives, which have worked very well in other communities. And it's an opportunity for farmers and for value-added people in the city to work together. For instance, not having to each individually buy equipment or tools, that there's tool libraries, equipment libraries. So it's a big movement that's coming on the heels of this downturn economy, where people are trying to find new ways to make do with less or make less work better for them. So we're really looking forward to that. And that is my report.
Thank you, Councillor. And Councillor Krog?
Nothing at this time. I will be bringing forward a request to the city to, and I guess DDAP too, is to try and host a family day or a family-friendly day, I guess. But it's still in the planning process.
Okay. Councillor Kendall?
I attended the same EDAC meeting as Councillor Smith, and I don't think I have anything to add to that report other than I would really encourage council, members of the community to come out to the meeting tomorrow evening. I think it would be really beneficial to everyone to hear how communities have taken similar issues as ours and turned them from negatives to positives and really taken positive strides, ahead. So I would encourage everyone to come out.
Excellent. Thank you. And Councillor Wires.
Thank you, Your Worship. On July 25th, I attended the Regional District Kootenay Boundary Solid Waste Management session in Greenwood, where the Regional District introduced the future closure of a number of unmanned collection stations in the Boundary Country, thus giving the impacted communities an opportunity to understand the process and ask questions. August 2nd, I attended the Grand Forks Flying Association meeting, and so the upcoming Sunday, August 26th fly-in is on schedule. The rain date is September 25th. August the 8th, I attended the meeting of the Boundary Dog Sled Association, who is planning a fowl supper. Their next event will be a fowl supper on Saturday, October the 20th.
Spell that, please.
And as their fundraiser for the upcoming Rail Trail 200 race that is scheduled for January 25th to the 27th, 2013. And that race will be the third annual event starting at the Grand Forks Station Pub at 9 a.m. on the 25th. So there's 157 days until race day. And the library board met on August the 15th, and I'm very pleased to have the opportunity earlier to introduce our new library director, Avi Silverstein, who has assumed his position at the library. So welcome to our community, Avi. The Starlight Dinner event, the fundraiser that the Friends of the Library was conducting, and you drew the winning ticket at Canada Day, and Ted Fogg was the lucky winner. It raised $3,200 for the Friends of the Library for a project that they're undertaking in our library. And the new location for the outreach, the Christina Lake Library Division, is in the Christina Lake Welcome Center now. So they've established a new contract with the Christina Lake Chamber of Commerce, and so far the new location is well received. The provincial funding for the library was confirmed on August the 1st at $48,076. That $48,076 represents a portion of the $13,990,000 that is allocated to public library funding for this year. And Citizens on Patrol, we met on Thursday, August the 16th at the RCMP station. Patrollers revealed that the city has placed new speed zone signs at the curve located on 72nd and Kettle River Drive. It is a 30-kilometer zone, but it wasn't well marked before. So we have a program in place called our speedboard meter reading, and we also do cell phone and seatbelt monitoring for ICBC, for which we received some funding dollars. Well, I'm happy to report the city workers saw our speedboard crew at that location, because we have had complaints from the neighbors that people are taking that curve quite fast. And the city has responded with new signage there for the 30-kilometer zone. So the members of the Citizens on Patrol wanted me to thank the city for their fast response and virtually asking for nothing. Just it was they were noticed and the work was done. And recently, on August the 17th, on Friday, Jordan Andrews, our summer student, who was conducting the air quality monitoring with the portable nephelometer. Well, Jordan finished with us. He had 14 weeks on the program that is sponsored through the Grand Forks Environment Committee. And he, the last 2 weeks, he handed over control to Lauren LaSargent, so she's going to finish off the last 2 weeks of the Canada Summer Student Funding Program, and our commitment to secure that portion of the wages and expenses from that program. So this was a partnership that we engaged with the University of Victoria, who provided the nephelometer free of charge, and we have it in our community until next spring. So Jordan has trained some volunteers that sit at the Environment Committee table and engaged the Selkirk College as well in assisting with some of the data entry work. And it's a joint partnership with the University of Victoria, BC Lung Association, and the City of Grand Forks, and that completes my report.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor O'Doherty.
Yes, Your Worship, since the 1st of August, we've been busy getting ready for the baseball tournament, GFI, and also been busy with the Grand Forks of the Border Booms training camp next week, and the season in the first week of September. That's my report for tonight, George.
I see they're putting in the ice equipment there.
Yeah, they did all the work at the Reno.
Yeah.
You know, they did all clean her up too, you know.
Councillor Rushagan.
I have no report this weekend.
Okay. And we have a Recreation Commission meeting Thursday. Yeah. Okay, and that my report is to report on meetings. Everything else seems to be fairly well covered. The BEDC is meeting on September the 4th, and again, we're going to look at the topic of community forest and see where we're at with that in terms of the other communities in the boundary. That's the main issue on the agenda right now. And the Rec Commission on the 23rd, there's a lot on board for the Rec Commission. Again, that agenda looks pretty interesting in terms of implications for the city, so we'll report back on September the 4th on that meeting. The Deer Committee meeting, we've tried a couple of different dates, and we're just going to set this date and do it. There's a no-win on this because not everybody can be available. August the 31st, Friday at the regional district. Usually I have no trouble booking Friday, but I haven't booked it yet, but it will be August the 31st.
Great news because it's my birthday.
Pardon?
What time are
In the morning, I'm sorry. It's going to be a morning meeting, probably 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'll put it out on council report or council internet. And I'd like to finish this evening just with a comment on the City Hall flowers. I was just blown away coming in today. Amazing job they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, their secret of keeping the deer away, they got to share with all of us. There's some combination of Gaia green dusting they're putting on, but I'm telling you, it's quite spectacular to pull around the corner and see all of that growth around the city this year. It's pretty amazing. So thank you very much.
It's the Lewis's woodpecker.
I know. I was saying that we should get that Lewis's woodpecker as our national bird here, since we are apparently the last recluse of the Lewis. Yeah, it could be. Well, we'll see what your branding exercise can do. Throw it in there.
There you go.
Okay, and can I have a motion to accept council reports? Councillor Wires, Councillor Rushagan, all those in favor? My regional district report this evening I'm going to forego. There's nothing that hasn't been said already. It's exciting that we're moving ahead with the diversion program. We're looking forward to some regional district meetings coming up. We have a strategy planning session in September. But in fact, a lot of things have been on hold for this summer. There hasn't been a lot going on for the last month or so here at the regional level. And that's my regional report. Can I have a motion to accept the regional report? Councillor Rushagan, Councillor Kendall, all those in favor?